Welcome to FootCare by Nurses. I'm going to try and explain to you how and why I have been changing people's laces. So the way that a shoe really works is for the heel to be in the back of the shoe. Clowns walk around with shoes that are too large for them all the time. But the way that it really works is that the heel has to be in the back of the shoe. That doesn't necessarily mean that you need one of these. It basically means that your foot has to be securely here. That's the way that a shoe works. When your foot goes forward, your foot is supposed to go with the back of the shoe. So I think a lot of people end up with a lot of problems because they're literally sliding forward in their shoes. Now, at FootCare by Nurses, we like to think of ourselves as people who can help people not spend a lot of money, but use their brains instead. So what I've tried to do is come up with a way so that you don't have to go and buy a new pair of shoes immediately. As I've said to many of you, you've got to make sure that the pattern fits, because if your widest part of your foot is now going to be in here, it doesn't matter what we do, it's still going to hurt, and it's not going to be able to get you in the shoe properly. So let's begin. So traditional lacing goes up and back like a zigzag. And what happens is that the shoe actually just gets closed here, leaving the front part open. This is a ratty pair of my tennis shoes. It's the best that I could do right now on this Sunday afternoon to try and explain what it is that I'm trying to do. So we start off with the lace. Make sure that you have these little eyelets on there. That's really kind of important. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put them into the bottom holes. Did I get that? No. So the bottom holes. All right. And then this lace is definitely too short for this. I actually stole it off of another one so that you could see the color, but it will work the same. So go ahead and pull them short, and you will very quickly see is that you end up with the same length. What you're trying to do though is that one lace needs to be changed over the other. So the one that comes off of the big toe, this guy right here, right? That one is going to mainline right to the outside ankle. Right, so big toe to outside of the ankle, okay? And the other one is going to snake in and out amongst all of the other ones. So what you really want to do is make sure that this is the length that you're going to be left with. So if you have got about 19 extra inches, it's just not going to work. Ian's laces or Flanagan's laces have a whole bunch of decorative ways to do this, but I like to think of this as actually having a purpose. So you will notice that if I pull on this lace right here, right, this one that goes up to the ankle, it's going to pull the bottom of the shoe tight. That's what we're after. When we pull the bottom of the shoe tight like that, what's going to happen is that it's going to put, in a sense, a brake or a stop to prevent your foot from sliding forward. A lot of women particularly have very narrow heels, right, and wide feet. And so what happens is that in our effort to try and get our wide feet, we actually give up on the ankles. And so then we tend to, I think that a lot of women are just sliding forward in their shoes, or at least that's our experience. Corns and calluses, that's our evidence. So basically that allows us to pull the lace tight. Now what you're going to do with the other one is you're just going to snake it up the rest of the shoe. So it's going to go, now nobody says is that you have to go through all the lacing, so I'm just going to cheat here a little bit, and I'm going to go every other one because I can be creative here. Right, this guy right here, I'm going to go through here, right? But you see, I think that you can get the gist, is that don't worry about being creative, right? And so now it makes it all the way to the top. All right, so you could go through every single lacing, but basically this lace is the one that went through every single one. This one mainlined up from the big toe up to the ankle. Right, now you have bidirectional lacing power, so you can close down the front of the shoe, right? And now you can adjust. If you had, say, a high arch in here, you could skip, right? And now up here, this guy right here can close the top of the shoe. That way, when you lace your shoes together, and don't forget that granny knots run north-south and square knots run east-west. So basically, I'm going to go left over right, and I'm going to go right over left for my bow. What I've done is that I've allowed myself to actually control the bottom of the shoe and the top of the shoe, which now brings the foot into the back of the shoe, thus preventing slippage. Slippage, basically now your toes are free to do whatever it is that they want up here, right? Because they're not holding on the shoe. So I hope that helps. Enjoy your day, and thank you very much for participating in our FootCare by Nurses shoelacing video. Have fun. Bye.